dead of night, two voices awaken from the crypt. One coffin.
Two opinions.
Endless screams.
Welcome to the latest episode of Two Souls, One Crypt. I'm Jeff Darko.
And I'm Beth Graves.
And today we are talking Dolly.
Yes. We've been really wanting to watch this movie for a while, and it was only out in the theater for just like a limited time, so we had
It had a very limited release.
Yes. So we watched it.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to go to the movies to watch it, but we watched it streaming.
Yes, we wanted to, but there was only one theater around, and it was only there for maybe like 1 or 2 days.
And I think is it the 20th it hits on Shudder? I think it is. Sometime towards the end of the month.
Yes.
It's actually a Shudder movie. IFC Films and Shudder.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to be hitting Shudder later this month.
Yes. And it is a independent slasher, which you can tell when you watch it, the way it's filmed. They actually did it in the Chattanooga area, and they did it on 16 millimeter film.
Yeah, I seen that at the end credits. It was 16 millimeter, which you could tell by the look of it, but we'll get into the details. Give us some more backstory on it.
So I completely had forgotten Sean William Scott, which I still call him Stifler from American Pie, was in it. And this was...
He's had more roles, but it's funny how certain roles get on people all the time. Like people just think of him as, just like Bruce Campbell's always Ash.
Yes.
And he's always Stifler.
He's always Stifler, but he actually did really good job playing a more serious role, though.
They get stuck with one role, and that's what everybody knows him as after that. But yeah, he did good. He
did. I was kind of surprised to see him in this type of movie, but yeah, he did a really good job. And this movie actually got 63% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, for Rotten Tomatoes, I mean, I'd probably rate it a little higher than that if it was me, but yeah.
Well, we'll get into the rating at the end of the show here. But anything else you want to tell us before we get into the details?
Well, I just want to say, first of all, that this movie, if you haven't seen Barbarian, and I'm hoping you've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because I'm pretty sure everybody has, it's kind of like gives me both of those movies combined vibes.
I feel like it was very heavily influenced by Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
Just from, the whole movie, from the very get-go in the 16 millimeter, the look of it, you like, I guess, kind of reminds me of the grainy look of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the more it gets into the movie, it looks like it was, I'm sure it was, but yeah, it's definitely, I'm pretty sure it's heavily influenced on Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah. Well, so it's, I'm just going to call him Stifler. Him and his girlfriend decide to go on this, like, hiking, camping trip.
Yeah, he's going to take her out to this overlook that he's always been to and propose.
Yes, and he has...
Are we going to spoil it? Are we spoiling this movie?
Let's don't spoil it, but let's
completely,
just kind of... just kind of give you the highlights.
Can it be, I guess?
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of. Let's just kind of talk about what it's about and just some of the creepy parts, but not give away too much.
And parts that don't make sense.
No. But yeah, so they're going hiking, and before they leave, he's dropping his daughter off, and then that girl's going to be a stepmom, and she's talking to her friend on the phone, was like, I just don't know if I want to be a stepmom, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets in the car, and then they take off. When they get there, and they're starting to hike, they start finding like all these dolls in the woods, which that would be my cue.
Yeah, they're
let's get out of here.
They're just laying on the path like anybody who was walking on that path could have seen them. And they're just kind of like, if you find porcelain dolls kind of creepy, then this movie's going to be creepy to you because it's chucked full of porcelain dolls.
Yes, and they're like hanging on the trees, and they're like, oh, maybe it's some art project. And I'm like, I think that'd be my cue. Let's turn around and get the hell out of here, in my opinion. But no, they just keep on going.
Yeah, so then they eventually make it to the overlook, and then it cuts back to Dolly, I guess is her name. I don't know.
I guess.
She goes back because she's the one putting all the dolls in the woods and everything. Spoiler alert, which you probably already know.
Yeah, if you've seen the previews at all, you kind of know.
So she's got this little toy music box that looks like something from the 70s or something.
And music boxes freak me out anyway, too.
It's like a little kid's toy. It's not really a music box. It's kind of like one of those, like a toy radio, I guess, and it just plays like a certain song. So they're standing there looking and hear that song playing, and he's like, oh, I'm going to go check it out. And I'm like, That'd be my sign to get the hell out of there.
Exactly. Okay, porcelain dolls, creepy music box music. I'm like, I'm out of here. But no. And then he's like, I'll be right back. I was like, well,
Which we
there
know
we
you
go.
never say.
I was like, well, he's gone. So, of course, he encounters Dolly, and we're not going to go into what all happens. But basically, his girlfriend ends up getting kidnapped, and it takes her to that big creepy house where she lives. And
which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes. There's like
yes,
an old looking house out in the woods, which there's like a field, but this is out in the woods, but it still kind of gives you that sort of
yeah,
vibe.
it kind of gives you this creepy vibe. Which the house is really pretty, even though it's old and
yeah, it's actually it looks better inside than outside actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's obsessed with dolls, so she wants to have a doll. She wants to have
she wants
her
like a
own
live
kid.
doll.
I don't know.
We can't figure that part out. And then that creepy porcelain doll mask thing she has on. Don't know what's up with that either. But I don't even know. I was like, how did she even find something like that to fit her?
No, it's a big,
I mean, that's what I
big
kept thinking.
porcelain doll.
And she's a big,
it's a mask, but
tall, beefy woman too. And then I kept thinking, maybe she's really a guy.
And actually, it said her name. I can't remember her name. It's like Max the Impaler or something like that. She's actually a wrestler, the lady that played Dolly.
Excuse me. I didn't realize. I saw that and I was like, who is that?
I don't know who she is, but I think she was into the NWA or something. I looked her up because I was like, who played that lady? But yeah, she's like a big woman, like not like fat, but like stocky and
yeah.
Till she works out, she's strong as fuck in this movie.
Yeah, and that's all he kept saying to the whole
strong.
She's strong as hell. She's strong as hell.
And I kept saying, damn, she's strong, because I always have to reference Hot Tub Time Machine when he's pulling him up from the and the one guy says, damn, he's strong.
I was wondering, I was like, where's that coming from?
It always comes from that. But yeah, she is strong as fuck. Really strong.
Yeah. And
superhuman strong, I guess.
If you're not one to handle like a lot of gore and things
it's
like that.
It's pretty gory, yeah.
Yeah, then I'm going to say, yeah, tread lightly with this one. But if you're like, all in crazy, violent gore, you'll love it.
Yeah, it's more of a creepy and gory type of horror movie and not like jump scarish.
No.
It's just creepy because the dolls, and then gory. Some of the kills are gory, and there's actually some pretty decent gore in it. I liked it.
Yeah. It was really well done. And even though they don't really give you any backstory really much, I mean, you find out like that her mom passed away, and then and then it goes into different chapters. It's which is kind of interesting. It's like chapter 1, it's like I can't remember what all they were, but something about her father, and then you end up finding out she's got a dad, and which is really
I think there's like 8 or 9 chapters they call them or whatever, because one's like goodbye or something like that. Father and it kind of leads into what's going on. Yeah, one of them's mother, because I think that's when she captures the girl and starts becoming like her mother.
Yeah, and at first the girl's fighting her, and then she's like, well, maybe if I submit. And
when she's in the bedroom, she hears a dude in the other room beside her, and he's like, you got to play along and get the key. And you got to go. So she kind of goes along with it in a way, but then she still tries to get away in a way.
Yeah. It's pretty intense.
I got to get into some parts that don't make sense though.
Okay.
I know you didn't want to talk about what happened to Sean William Scott, but there's one part she gets a little pocket knife and she stabs her in the hip, like when she first takes her, I think, or right before in the bedroom or something. And then I guess she forgets about it because she's like superhuman, basically. I don't know, like Leatherface-ish. So then she bumps into the wall and realizes that the knife's still in her hip. She takes that and it's gushing like she stabbed her in an artery or something. And it's just in the hip, like you wouldn't bleed that much, really.
No, you shouldn't.
I mean, it's squirting out like crazy, like she got stabbed in the jugular or something. I was like, that's an awful lot of blood.
Well, they got to do that for,
I mean, I get that, but it's still an awful lot of blood. It'd just run down her hip.
It wouldn't be that. And it was a really small knife, and she's superhuman. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then... I don't know. I got to get into the part.
Oh, gosh.
You want to talk about him? I don't know if you want to talk about that part. You don't want to spoil it.
I don't want to spoil what happens to him. But
there's some parts that don't make sense to me. I'll just leave it at that. Like, you see some parts and you're like, wait a minute, how would that have happened?
Well, because it's a movie.
I know, but still.
You got to overanalyze everything.
I do, I know.
But I'm telling you, I feel like there's a lot to this movie that could happen. I mean, I feel like a lot of it, just like Texas Chainsaw, I thought that movie was real for a long time. I thought that actually really happened.
Yeah, who's to say there's not somebody living in the woods in the Chattanooga National Forest down in there?
Could be.
We don't know. We've never been to Chattanooga.
But I'm just going to say, if you go hiking and you hear music box music or you see porcelain dolls, I'm going to advise you to get out of there.
I remember when we we seen that doll when we was hiking?
I did not. I don't remember that.
Yeah, we went with Levi and Rachel when we was coming back, and there
Oh,
was a doll off
Lord.
the path.
Oh, my
I took a
God.
picture of it.
I don't even
We
remember.
went to the waterfall and come back, but anyways, there wasn't a bunch of them, and it wasn't
Oh,
a porcelain
gosh.
doll,
We're not going back there.
and they weren't hanging up in trees. But
Well, no, but
yeah, if you see a bunch of porcelain dolls on a hiking path, I'd suggest you turn around and leave.
yes. Yeah, and especially if you hear the music. Yeah, that's your cue. You just get out of there. Which I don't like dolls anyway, so I knew this movie was going to freak me out, and I knew it gave me Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes. That movie also scares me pretty bad, so I was like, ugh.
Yeah, so I was really excited to see it when the previews first come out,
Mhm.
and then, of course, like we said, it didn't come around here, but like one theater, and we didn't get a chance to go, but I don't know, do you think it lived up to the hype in your head?
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have seen it in the theater if we
I
had
think it would have been a better experience, but it was a nice
would've.
experience here. Yeah, I think it lived up to my expectations, I
I
guess.
think so. I actually thought in some parts it was better than I expected because I didn't really know. I was like, well, it might be good, it might be stupid, but we'll give it a shot. But apparently it, did pretty well. And so I was like, yeah, I really enjoyed it. And there was a few cringy moments for me because of the gore, and I like gore, but some of it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
And I was
yeah.
like, yeah. So yeah, be prepared for that.
Yeah, there's a couple of parts you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, I think I said that a few times watching this. I was like, my God. Yeah, it's just, just unexpected. Like, she's just incredibly a strong woman. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the ending for me was a little unsatisfying, but I kind of wanted it to go a little further, but it just kind of just stopped. It was still good, but I kind of wanted to see a little bit more. And then there was you have to run through the credits, and there's just a little tiny clip at
Oh,
the
yeah,
end.
there is a very end credit scene.
Yeah, and then there's not much to it, but you still should.
And there's a song playing that says at the very end of the dude's like, we're going to get Dolly too. You know how this thing works. So
Yeah, so apparently there's another one coming.
yeah, there probably will be.
Yeah.
Which, the hell, there may be more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows how long it'll go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it worked. I guess it depends. Well, I think it did okay, but yeah, we're getting a part 2 according to the song.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how that's going to go. I mean, I'd be interested to watch it.
Yeah. So, you want to get into the rating?
Yeah. This is a tough one because, I didn't over the top love it, but I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm probably going to say 3.
Do you recommend watching?
Yeah, I recommend watching it.
Yeah, there's, like I said, there's some good gore. There's a couple of parts, like I said, it doesn't make sense, but I mean, it works. I mean,
Yeah.
just go in. It was about what I expected to see in the trailer. It's creepy as hell.
Yeah.
There's creepy dolls.
It's very creepy. And it wasn't a very long movie. It was like an hour and a half. So you can get through it pretty quick. And it's not one of those movies where you're just kind of like, it keeps your attention.
Yeah.
Mean,
Yeah. Like I said, the acting is good. Dolly's just creepy as hell. She's
is.
a new serial killer on the block, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Like Leatherface and all those.
Yeah.
She probably won't get as big as those, but she could hold her own with them, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
The strength that she has. And
I think she could take Leatherface.
I don't know. It'd be she'd at least
goodbye.
actually give him a run for her money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely recommend watching it. Like I said, it was all of what I expected,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think me too. I think it was a little bit better than I expected in parts because I didn't expect. I mean, I knew it was going to be some gore, but I was like, woo. It was a little more than I expected in parts, and I'm not going to say because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to agree. I'll probably give it a 3. I would like to give it more, but there's just some parts that I just thought was kind of dumb. But I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, it works for the movie.
I would have liked to have a little bit more backstory on how she ended up that way, and but still, I mean, I guess she's just crazy. And
Well,
who
yeah,
knows?
and there's one part I don't want to get into a lot of it, but there's one part when she's fighting her in the woods and she hits her in the face and she breaks some of the porcelain mask
Yes.
with her hand, and then she hits her in the head with the shovel like 4 or 5 times, and the porcelain mask doesn't break anymore. Like, that just don't make sense to me. Like, you think it would have shattered completely.
You would think.
But yeah, there's one part that
And then when
does not
she
make
did
sense.
part of the mask, it just she was devastated, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, because she didn't want her to see her face, but you don't really get to see her face. You see
You
part of it.
kinda do.
It kind of looks like a doll underneath. I'll give
Well-
that part away. It still looked like a doll underneath
Yeah.
the porcelain doll. It looked like a normal baby doll
Yeah.
face or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
But at one part, her dad was like, I'll do her what I did to you. So we really don't know what happened to her. Maybe we'll get that in
Yeah.
part 2. Maybe we'll get a backstory in part
Yeah,
2.
maybe we
That would
will.
work really good.
That would be good.
Because you
Yeah.
said I don't know how it would work. Maybe that's how it'll be. We'll get a backstory on Dolly and how she became what she
How she
is.
became Dolly.
She
Yeah.
became so damn strong. That's what I want to know.
Who knows?
But yeah, I'm going to give it 3 skulls just because some of the parts didn't work like I thought it would. But overall, it's a good movie. I recommend checking it out on Shudder once it drops.
Yeah, especially like I said, if you are a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan and if you've seen Barbarian and you like those movies, I think you'll enjoy this
And
one.
if you think porcelain dolls are creepy.
Yes,
Because
absolutely. Because they
are
are creepy to me, and I liked both those movies, and they kind of gave me the same vibe. And yeah, I enjoyed it.
I thought there for a minute we was going to get kind of psycho-ish when the main female goes into the basement that shows that head. I was like, oh, is this getting like she keeping somebody's head down here or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. It's kind of giving us Norman Bates.
Maybe a little bit, but
Yeah.
this is definitely a new twist on a Texas Chainsaw Massacre type story.
I agree. I thought, I think, definitely watch it. Be prepared for the gore. If you're not a gore fan, you're not going to love this movie.
No, yeah, it's good gore. You got to go with it.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job. So
Yeah, I think so too.
3 skulls for you, 3 skulls for me.
Yep.
Just roll with it and enjoy it and stay all the way to the end of the credits. Watch every
Yes.
second. Well, you can fast forward it,
Yeah.
but wait till the very end.
I mean, it doesn't show much, but it is still worth watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a very end credit scene.
Yes.
So, all right. Anything you'd like to add about Dolly?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Until next time, this has been 2 Souls, 1 Crypt.